Yeah, we're live, baby. And would you look at that? It's a change of scenery. Now that Liverpool on a nice little winning streak, I managed to spend a bit of moolah to change my background. Yeah, but it's not about me. It's about you, Margie, and your soft team losing yet again to Aston Villa. Yeah, hold that, L fam. Hold that, ya bum. Yeah, see, this name right now is dedicated for you. Hold that. What you gotta say about your bum ass team?
What I gotta say, first of all, man, I'm on the introduction. We getting right into this. I don't care. Yeah, I'm tired of this guy. Poch is
Yeah,
soft. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
inject it, yeah,
He's the only manager in the Premier League, fam, coaching losses, coaching
yeah,
L's, L
yeah,
after L.
yeah,
Man out here like this. With Chelsea Football Club, and I'm out here like this, fam.
yeah,
Mask on, fam.
yeah.
But anyway,
No future.
in terms of the game, he's doing the same mistakes. Colwell at left back, Gallagher in a pivot. Come on, man. Gallagher is a part of the ugly triplets. Yeah, the ugly triplets, if you don't know, are Mount, Kai Havertz, and Gallagher, fam. All them man do is run and
Yeah,
look good. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
No
you're
P and
doing
P.
Enzo dirty, put him in the 10 when he should be
Yeah,
alongside Casado. You know,
yeah,
he should be on Fabregas. Yeah,
yeah.
controlling the pitch, doing his thing.
Smoke settings. Yeah.
What's all this ad libs? What's this? A rap battle? Yeah, and then up front, oh man, the thing is, we had so many chances. Uh, Mudryk was the only attacker that was doing stuff. He should have had at least 2, 3 assists that game. And for me, I just think the manager is just coaching himself into losses, coaching himself into bad results. As soon as the 10 men, as soon as we got to 10 men, man reverted to type, took off Mudryk and put on Chilwell again in left wing. Like that's gonna do anything. You're taking off our fastest attacker when we're meant to be doing counter attack and chill, fam. We were meant to do counter
Yeah,
attack and inshallah, and you can't even
yeah,
do that right. And
yeah,
then what happens, fam? What happens? 1-0 loss,
yeah.
and I'm
One
out here
nil.
with like this. As far as
Yeah,
I'm concerned, yeah, I'm not taking this mask off when I talk about Chelsea until we get a win.
yeah. No face, no case. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah. That's right.
exactly. No
Yeah,
face, no case.
yeah.
Uh, And if Poch is still in the job and he keeps taking these losses, fam, I'm gonna be outside his yard like this, fam. Asking for my club back. Asking for my club back. We lost it. No, but on all honesty, like it's just a frustrating loss again. I would say this: the red card is annoying. Referees are soft. Two, how in the hell was that a red card? Digne was the one who was late to that challenge. Gusto got the ball completely, and you give him a red card. Fam, VAR is soft. The referee is soft, and everyone on the Sky Sports afterwards saying, "Oh yeah, no, it was a red card." You're just backing your boys. All these British refs, send them to Ukraine. I'm saying it here right now. Send all these UK refs to Ukraine, fam, and bring us the foreign ones because I'm tired of these bums, fam. All from Manchester and all soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, that's all I gotta say, man. I got no constructive thing about this game, fam. Hey, I got no constructive criticisms. I got nothing, man.
Yeah,
I'm on my 2 feet. I'm a bum on the floor.
yeah,
I'm 14th, and I'm looking at all the rest of London ahead of me. All the
yeah,
rest of London ahead of me right now.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
That's right. Romeo
anyway.
done. Yeah. I'm loving this, boy. I live for this. When I saw that defeat, I was like, I can't wait for the pod. I can't wait because I know enough is enough for Marju. But you see, me, I'm coming from a different perspective. See, when I watch the game, there's a few things that I'm gonna spit on. All right. So for me, the Gusto challenge was not a red card. The only thing that I can think of is because the blades were showing at the end. That's probably why. But for me, he got the ball clean. clean as day. You know what, that challenge remind me of the Fabinho challenge on I think it was Luis Suarez in a Barcelona match where Fabinho crunched him hard, but he won the ball, but he still got a yellow card for it. Like for me, it just reminded me of that challenge where he crunched him, Gusto crunched him, but he still won the ball. I personally don't know why that was a red. It wasn't even a bookable offense, but for me, I just feel like I think we're always going to be talking about the refs every single week. We're going to be talking about it because we know that the refs are shocking, and it's just not going to change at the end of the day, and it is what it is. But let's talk about the actual match in itself. So for me, I thought the game was a good game. I think Mudric was the live wire in that game. I think he was playing like he had a point to prove, and he was killing it on that left hand side, even in the central areas. Like he was all over the place. He was a constant threat on the wing, and even that ball that he did to Jackson, that split pass from the touchline was so crisp and clean. I don't know how Jackson didn't score that. Even if he went around the goalkeeper or if he chipped the goalkeeper, like he should have done something. I think that pass was so good. Like, and I just don't get how he didn't finish that. And I think it was, again, like we're just gonna say the same thing every single week about Chelsea and their lack of finishing. When it comes to playing football, they're good. When it comes to the final third, they're good. But when it comes to the killer instinct, they're just not good. And they're not finding the killer instinct. There were so many chances. The Raheem Sterling chance, the Jackson chance, numerous chances, I should say, the Chilwell chance, when he was bombing it down the left hand side and he was open, there were so many chances for Chelsea to win that game, and they just didn't. And Aston Villa just played their normal game, soak up the pressure and play on a counter attack, and it was just a one quick attack, where Chelsea was really trying to go for it. They were in their half and just a split clearance. That's all it was. Thiago Silva didn't get the ball, and even when he did get the ball, he wasn't composed enough to keep hold of the ball. And a guy of his experience should know that when it comes to those situations, just boot it, even if it means giving them a goal kick, which will allow you to reshuffle and get into position. You're meant to use your initiative. You're captain for a reason. You're meant to be the most experienced guy on that pitch. And I just felt like he just was under pressure. He wasn't composed, and he got crunched. They stole the ball. Ollie Watkins was obviously on the run. Good block by Colwell initially. But again, Ollie Watkins didn't give up and he obviously scored, and that was just a difference maker. Aston Villa had a striker that could finish his dinner, and all he needed was just one chance, as opposed to Jackson, who needs more than 10 chances in order for him to score a goal. And that's just how it is. And I said it in the last episode, this is a project which is 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years. And at the end of the day, if Chelsea are going to sign all of the young talents in the world, you can't expect results to happen there and then. It's just not going to happen. And I get it. Like, I understand the frustration. I understand, you're playing Colwell at left back when you got two to three left backs on the bench. I get it. Play an actual left back there. I get it. You have midfielders who are good enough to not allow Conor Gallagher to be in that position. I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, these guys are all young. They're not, personally, if it was me, I wouldn't expect Chelsea to be delivering straight away. I wouldn't expect things to happen straight away because this is a long-term project. And I do believe that Poch is the right man. And I do believe that the owners need to stand by him, because you didn't spend all this money on young guys just for you to get rid of him. I do believe and I said it last week that if it was a case where you guys weren't playing well at all, you weren't playing good football, you wasn't being an attacking threat, you wasn't creating chances, then I'd be like, you know what, it is doom and gloom. Chelsea's in the mud. They're a joke. But it's not like that. You guys are playing good football. You guys are creating chances, and more often than not, given the 6 games that's been played, most of the games that you guys have played, you guys have pretty much dominated those games. The concerning issue has been the finishing. You guys are just not finishing in front of goal. But I do believe that, for me anyway, once you do get that initial goal scoring run, whether it be against the likes of a Nottingham Forest or like a Everton or like a Burnley, or someone that's beatable, that that you'll just pound, like a Sheffield United. I think once you start banging in them goals in those games, I think that's when the confidence will start to come up and you'll be able to carry that. But I just feel like there's so much pressure, and I feel like your attacking players are probably overthinking it. Every single time when they're in the box, they're overthinking it. They're making they're overpassing, they're over dribbling, or they're taking shots in stupid directions or positions. And I just feel like, for me, I feel they just need to stop allowing the pressure to mount and just play with freedom. They're young players, so play with freedom, play with no fear. And I just feel like once you get that, you should be fine. It doesn't help when there's probably anxiety and nervous throughout the stadium as well, and the fans are probably anxious, and and the players are probably feeling that anxiousness from the fans, and it's probably causing a reaction out of them even more, where they're scuffing their line or they're not making the correct decisions. But I just feel like maybe playing away from home is probably where you're going to get your goals. I don't know when your next away game is. Maybe it's this one coming up. I don't know. But I feel like maybe playing away from home, you probably will get a goal or two. But I don't think that there's anything to fear, honestly. I really don't. I just feel like if the performances that you guys were having throughout the 6 games were different, then I'd agree with you and be like, yeah. But because the performances have been good performances, you're just missing the goals. I just feel like you guys need to stand by Poch. I think the individual mistakes that he's making in terms of playing guys out of position, yeah, 100% I agree with you. He's wrong for doing that. But I just think maybe he doesn't trust the certain players that he has at the moment, which is why he's making those decisions. But, I don't know. I'm not a manager. I'm only just looking on the outside in. But that's my perspective anyway.
Oh, bun that, man. He's moving soft, fam. That's you know what the thing about it is that these managers play attacking football at these smaller teams, and then when they come to a bigger team, they want to act like they're babies. Like Poch is known for attacking brand of football. Potter was known for attacking brand of football. As soon as they come to this club, they want to go defensive. Just let the chain off. Let these youngsters be free. Let them fly. You know what I'm saying? Let them be eagles,
Birdman.
fam. Fly. Yeah, exactly. Let them fly. I'm tired of this. Like it's like going 5 steps forward and about 20 steps back with the way he's moving with the team. Like we're playing good football, but the football could be 10 times better if you put players in the right position. And the thing is, I know Nicholas Jackson doesn't take every chance, but then make more chances. Man City's Erling Haaland is missing bare chances. He missed 5 big chances last game, like
He
in
did.
one of the games. So for me, missing chances is a part of parcel of the game, but make 10 times more then. Allow for the creativity to run through the squad by allowing a left back to help Mudrich in that. Because every time Colwell goes forward, he doesn't know how to overlap. He can't cross it. He's just lost. He's like a lost child. He's like Bambi on ice. That's what he is on the left side. But left centre back, he can ping them balls across and cause problems. And then Conor Gallagher, he's just running into nowhere, man. Man just runs. Man is a marathon runner in on the pitch.
Young Henderson, fam.
Yeah, exactly. That's all he is. That's all. We got rid of 2 of them, man. Yeah. Hold that Arsenal and United fam. Enjoy Mason Mount and Kai Havertz. You saw Kai Havertz in the in the
I did.
NPL. Yeah, man was getting bodied. Man was getting little broed, fam.
Did you see
Uh,
when trying to prevent the goal kick?
yeah.
I saw
Stop.
where move out there.
But yeah, no. In all honesty, like it's just frustrating watching the football and seeing so many chances missed. But we need to create more. We need to do more, and we need to actually have a starting lineup that's in position and just let the chains go and just let them have freedom because that's the only thing that's holding them back. Is the manager is not allowing them to be free, allowing them to play the football they want and in the position they want. And I feel like another guy that needs to be just, benched for a little while is Thiago Silva. He can't play week in, week out. He's not of that age. He needs to be the experience off the bench like John Terry was back in the day, helping up the youngsters, improving their football and stuff like that. But just bench him, put in a left back, put Casado alongside Enzo, and they'll thrive together. And put in Cole Palmer in the 10 because we don't have Nkunku and we don't have Carney. Put Cole Palmer in his natural position in the 10 and allow him to thrive and allow them to just create as many chances as possible. Because if we make 20 chances and score two, I don't mind. But we're making 5-4 chances and missing them all. So make more chances. And that's what we need to do in the future. But if Poch continues to this starting lineup, we're going to lose to Brighton in the Carabao Cup. We're going to lose to Fulham away. And then by the time Arsenal comes around, we're going to be looking at 17th, 18th because we're on relegation form. And then by then, it's going to be too late and he's going to be gone. And anyway, and as I said in it, until we win, I'm wearing this mask for the duration of the Chelsea segment, and then I'm taking it off. But I had to take it off for a little bit because it was getting too hot in here, fam. Man was steaming up. But you know what? I can take
You're a
it off
fool.
now. We're talking about other games. I can be serious now. I'm gonna take it off properly.
All right, Rey Mysterio. All right, so the next game is Liverpool versus West Ham. Um, so obviously my team started off very slow.
Mm.
West Ham pretty much had three big chances before the penalty decision. And the biggest one of all was the Mikel Antonio chance where he just headed wide. There was actually no pressure, no defender around him to put him off. So I don't get why he missed, but that's what happens when you try to talk that smack, that hot fire. Yeah, and you lost. So hold that, Mikel Arteta, about West Ham's gonna finish above us. You bum. Anyway, so obviously Mohamed Salah obviously got brought down, cool, calm, and collected, slotted it for the first goal. Obviously, that woke up West Ham. West Ham obviously got a goal by Jared Bowen, who has been rumored for the past 3 seasons now to go to Liverpool. And I hope that just because he scored against us, I hope we don't sign this guy because I actually don't think he's that great. Obviously, Salah's the next level, so to try and get someone that's on the same level as Salah is obviously damn near impossible. But please don't disrespect my club and link us to Jared Bowen. I like man. The guy's dead biscuits, bro. Anyways, but overall, I feel like the draw in the first half pretty much woke up Liverpool in the second half. And I feel like my issue with my team at the moment is we're starting off very slow. And I think against the likes of a Man City, I think if we do that against them, they will punish us. Um, I think having McAllister in a six, I said this before and I'll say it again, just doesn't make sense to me. In that game, yet again, he made so many positional errors where he got found out with the ball at his feet. He wasn't releasing it quicker. With DMs, you need to release the ball quicker. We know the master of the DMs was Sergio Busquets and how elegant and silky he was on the ball. Every time when he got the ball, his head was up and he already knew where to pass. If a person pressed him, he knew when to turn, and we just don't have um, a player in McAllister who is mobile enough to make those quick 1-2s and rotate or even turn a player. He's not that type of guy. So I think to have him there is just wasting his ability. I feel like if he had a destroyer like a Fabinho next to him, I think that's where you'll get the benefit out of McAllister because he's a deep line playmaker. He's someone that is a ball carrier from midfield into the attacking third and he'll lay off passes. He's not the type to initiate from deep in a defensive midfield position, and I think he's being wasted away. And you saw that in the first half. When the second half came in, though, it was completely different. Slobosly obviously controlled the game yet again, like he did last week. He controlled the game again, and that's where you saw the benefits of Liverpool's attack just thriving and flourishing. Everybody was causing a problem, and I think the goal that Darwin Núñez scored, although he should have scored a goal previously before that where he was open, it was sort of like a Gabriel Jesus moment where Gabriel Jesus should have scored the goal against Tottenham. uh, he obviously redeemed himself with a nice little dink over the top from McAllister, first time tap, and it was a goal. And I think we're seeing the best out of Darwin Núñez this season. Obviously, all he needed was a pre-season under his belt and just to adapt to the actual Premier League. And we're seeing that now, and he's thriving. And, who would have thought that roles are reversed. Now it's Cody Gakpo on the bench now, and Darwin Núñez is starting through the middle. And to be honest with you, it's probably what I would have liked anyway. I actually want to see Cody Gakpo on the left this time, with Darwin Núñez up front, along with Salah on the right. I want to see how that actually looks. But it was a professional performance, and it was a performance that needed to be done against a bogey team which has caused quite a lot of big teams problem this season and obviously last season. So to come away with a win, which makes us 2 points behind Man City, and it just keeps us in the top four race. Obviously, we got Tottenham next, which should be a very, very big game. Obviously, they're missing a couple of their players, but for me, it was a fantastic game. Everyone did their bit. Everyone performed in the second half. Yeah, again, Joe Gomez put in a fantastic performance again. And it just seems like he's on a renaissance. Van Dijk did well again, and everybody is obviously performing at a high level. And long may it continue. Hopefully, it continues against Tottenham Hotspurs. But yeah, what was your thoughts, Tottenham? Tottenham, Margie. Did you watch the game? What was your thoughts?
I did watch the game. I watched three games in the same time because I don't know what idiot decided to put Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham all at the same time. Kind of dumbness is that? Anyway, yeah, I tried to watch all three games at the same time. In terms of the Liverpool West Ham game, I would say this: it's just a very typical Liverpool performance in terms of your attack and midfield, or your attack especially is just elite world class. So if you don't take your chances against Liverpool, you're gonna lose in the end, and that's what happened to West Ham. In terms of Michael Antonio, I know you got a podcast, but sometimes you gotta say things after the game, yeah. And when you talk before the game, that's when you lose. Man was talking the big things, yeah. And reality is West Ham play crap football. Yeah, they play park the bus, counter attack and chill. They play Ollie style inshallah counter attack football. And let's be honest, against some of the elite attacking teams, it isn't gonna work. They miss their chances, and then lo and behold, Liverpool get the penalty, correct decision. Salah finishes. Liverpool then go sleep again for some reason. Bowen gets his goal. Obviously, man is doing the audition. Obviously, he's auditioning for the right wing role. It's going to be available next summer. Um, Personally, I think he would be a good second option in terms of like if you bought two right wingers, have him as a backup option. Because I feel like after Salah, you don't really have a right winger. So if you needed a backup option, I think he'd be great. And I think that upgrade would be something that he'd probably be down for. In terms of like elite level, you're probably looking at a Chase or something like that. But yeah. In terms of the attack, brilliant finish by Nunez. He missed the easier chance, but scored that one. Weird. Man, I don't know what to feel like. He feels like Torres when he was at Chelsea, fam, scoring all the hard chances, but the easy 5 yard sitters missing them. That's what he's
Hmm.
doing.
Yeah.
And then obviously he finished it off with the third goal. And I just think Liverpool this season, if they can keep pace with Man City up to January, after around that period, I think if you can get a couple players in, a centre back, a CDM in January, and are still there or thereabouts to City, you're probably the only team that can dethrone them and stop them from doing the 4P. Because we're going to talk about the North London derby, but Arsenal are looking soft. And outside of you, I don't see any other team coming close. And the way City are going, they're moving like a machine. And they've got Arsenal coming up. And if they beat Arsenal without De Bruyne, without Rodri, I think we're going to be in problems.
It's true.
I think we may be becoming a farmers league. The
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola, I'm going to need you to retire soon. I'm going to need you to go to Spain and do the manager over there thing because it's getting annoying. But
It's
in
true.
terms of Liverpool, I think they're the only ones with a shout. They got the experience, they got the young talented players. They've got enough options in all over the pitch. Um, they're just missing a couple signings in January just to boost them for the second half of the season. And I think if they can stay there thereabouts, they're the only team that can stop City. And Klopp's the only manager who's done it before. The only other time was Pep's first season when Chelsea did it, but that's a long time ago. So Klopp's the only man who knows how. And that and the thing is, Liverpool with legs in the midfield is a different kettle of fish. And I gotta say, that Hungarian Gerrard, yeah, so Mosley, that guy there, I'm jealous. I wanted him at my club. He's a baller.
We're eating good, fam. We're eating
Yeah.
good.
That's why you're in that yard, fam, because of him.
Yeah,
Man
fam,
is,
because
man
of
is,
him.
man is what Man United fans think Bruno is, fam. Man is what Arsenal fans think Odegaard is. He's the real Don Dada, fam, when it comes to Cam.
Yeah,
No
fam, come
bias, no bias,
outside. Yeah,
no bias
yeah,
needed. But
yeah,
he's cold, man. He's just cold, and I feel like a lot of the stuff that he does is getting noticed now. So yeah, man, what a great signing. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Liverpool goes on. Um, they are conceding a lot of chances, which is gonna be a bit iffy in certain games. But I think they will score more than they will concede, and that's what wins you games is goals, and that's the one thing Liverpool have abundance of. So I think they'll be all right for the season. Top two definitely.
yeah. And we've mentioned Arsenal's name for quite a while now in this pod. It's time to move on to that North London derby, man. And what a North London derby it was. It actually was a good derby. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, Tottenham actually performed very well, but the let's be real, Arteta screwed Tottenham out, screwed Arsenal out of that win. Personally, I think for me, the substitutions changed the game. I don't know why he brought on Kai Havertz. I don't know why he brought on Jorginho. I think the midfield was lost the minute he made those substitutions. And coincidentally, it was Jorginho's fault as to why Tottenham ended up coming back and scoring that second goal from James Maddison, applying that pressure on Jorginho. I don't know what he was doing so close to his goal, why he held on to the ball for that long. When in doubt, kick it out. That's what the saying is. He was trying to be cheeky with it, tried to be comfy with the ball, and held on to the ball for too long. And then he started to panic and lost his footing, and then boom, it was a quick counter, and then 2-2. It was a fantastic game. Bukayo Saka actually turned up for once and actually performed in that game. Um, Christian Romero didn't have the greatest of games, to be fair. It was his fault. Why um, why Saka scored the first goal, and then it was his fault again why Saka got the penalty in the second goal. So, he didn't have the greatest of games, to be honest with you. And I think he'll look back at that and think, damn, I really let my team down in those situations, in those moments. Granted, the penalty was actually pretty. I wouldn't say it was harsh because evidently, if your hand is in that position and the ball's gonna go into goal, then naturally it is a penalty. But looking at his body position, it is a bit harsh because where is his hand gonna go when he's trying to make a block? Um, but all in all, as I said, it was a great game. I think in a situation like that, I think your captain needs to step up and be made accountable. And Odegaard didn't turn up in that game. I think Bukayo Saka actually led the line like he was a captain. Um, and Odegaard was literally ghost. He didn't really do anything in that game. And I think I always say this all the time: when you're world class and you have that world class tag, these are the sorts of games that define you as a big game player. Saka didn't really have that big game player name to him last season, but this game is a game that you need to calm your nerves, because one stupid decision can really go against you. And he stood up in that game. And I think for me, that game was proved or showed that Arsenal was missing one player, and that's Granit Xhaka. I think he would have been great in the midfield. I think that's where Arsenal was lacking: someone that was dominant, someone that could lead the line, someone that could prevent a counter attack and offer their experience in midfield. And I think they have yet to replace him. And in that game, they needed someone like him. And that was the reason why they lost the game. You don't bring on a Jorginho when it comes to those types of games. You bring on a midfielder that's going to offer a bit of bite, offer a bit of bullying, like a Basuma. Basuma wasn't great in possession in that game, but when it came to defensive and closing down, he was on job in that game. And that's the type of midfielder that you need. And that's something that Arsenal was lacking. Another position that they were lacking in that game, which they should have won if they had a solid number nine up front. Nketiah's not going to lead the line. Nketiah's not going to bag you 15, 20 goals. Nketiah's not going to be that dominant guy when it comes to big games. He's not going to be a Didier Drogba where he's going to bully your defense. And again, you got Gabriel Jesus, which is fantastic, but you know, the first chance that he had, okay, granted, I give him the benefit of the doubt. It was at an angle, and when he shot the ball, it hit the crossbar. That's fine. But the second chance that he had, he should have buried that. He was open goal, no pressure at all from the defenders, from the Tottenham defenders. He should have buried that goal. And again, that is where Arsenal are going to fail this season. The lack of experience in midfield, the lack of leadership in defense, because their defense was all over the place at certain periods of Tottenham's attack, especially in the first goal where James Maddison spun Bukayo Saka like a Beyblade by the corner flag. But also at striking as well, they're missing that goal scoring threat, that 20 to 30 goal striker. They are missing that badly. And I just feel like if they can hold on to January and try scrape, then fair enough. But I think they got Man City next. This is chalk and cheese, bro. You got Eddie and Ketia, you got Erling Haaland. Like the levels there are just not there. Like, and in order for Arsenal to win games, if your midfield isn't great, you need to at least have a goal scorer who's going to drag you out and scrape wins. And they just don't have that. So I do agree with Marjorie, but I do believe that Arsenal are soft. And I do believe that it's going to be a difficult season for them, especially with Champions League football in there as well. Um, but yeah, all in all, I thought it was a fantastic game, man. Tottenham really did play well, and Tottenham really did go to the Emirates and in most parts really did dominate, to be honest. And when was the last time you ever seen a Tottenham team go to the Emirates and dominate? So Ange is obviously he's got his blueprint on that team, and they're playing fantastic football. And I do want to close by saying this: a lot of fans are surprised that Anges and Tottenham are performing the way that they're performing. But anyone with a football brain knew that with Tottenham, or knows that with Harry Kane out the team, Tottenham would have always looked better without him in the team. So with Harry Kane gone, it was going to be evident that Ange was going to play the type of football and Tottenham were going to take that on board and perform. It was evident that that was going to happen. So people shouldn't be surprised that Tottenham are performing the way that they are right now. I think it was evident, and people need to embrace that this is a new look Tottenham. And eventually, with the right signings, whether it be January or summer, if Ange gets his players, Tottenham's going to be a interesting problem next season if they get the signings right. Not to say that they're going to challenge or anything. Let's calm down there, but they are going to cause a hell of a lot of problems to big team. As I said, if they get the transfers right in September in the summer. So, but again, it all boils down to the ownership, which we will discuss next week Thursday, because Tottenham is next that we're going to discuss. But yeah, that's me on this game. What's your thoughts on this derby? These are your rivals, Marjubes, and obviously I know you like to banter Arsenal, so obviously you have the floor, bro. You say what you gotta say.
You know what? No banter thing. I'm just gonna be serious. I think watching this game, it was a great game. It was end to end stuff. It had everything really. The only thing it didn't have was that kind of that fiery spirit in terms of a derby. It didn't feel like they were enemies. It felt like too friendly. I'm gonna lie to you. The men were high fiving, smiling at each other, talking to each other like it was a regular day game. I miss the days when man were fighting on the pitch, pushing and shoving, doing all the extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of the game, the first 30 minutes, Arsenal dominated in terms of like how they played. Um, Tottenham tried to press them, but they were able to get out of that press. And I think the way Arsenal played the first 20, 30 minutes led to the point where they got the goal. Unlucky for Romero, he stuck out a leg and he reflected and it went in. The one thing I would say after that, though, is Tottenham did well to come back into the game, and a man on their side also stepped up in a man named Son. And Son is a guy who is an experienced player, their captain, and this is a game where he showed his true self. Last season, he was moving soft. He wasn't scoring anything. He wasn't doing nothing. It seems like he's been rejuvenated. The anchor of Harry Kane has gone away, and we got the real Son back because both finishes were absolutely delicioso. But I would say this though. I don't agree in terms of Saka turning up. I feel like most of the game he was gone. I think um Udogi did a good job on him. And I think that left hand side of their defense, Van der Ven and Udogi, they're quality players. Obviously Van der Ven was linked with Liverpool, and Liverpool should have signed him because he's looking really good right now. But that left side of the defense didn't allow Saka to do anything, and I feel that Romero was the only like sort of weak link, but it was just couple moments here and there. The only thing I would say is that for one, Saka, why are you doing a next man celebration and not winning the game? Because first you do the dart celebration, but on their goal you're getting spun by the guy who did this celebration. He spun you like a Beyblade, and then put man in for the goal to make it 1-1. Then obviously you did your thing, you got the penalty and you scored. But then a minute later, you too busy with celebrating. That man scored a minute later, fam, within 60 seconds, fam. Like real quick. Like you can like the thing is Arsenal couldn't hold a lead. They bottled it. They bottled it at home. They got the lead and then they let it slip. And the second half for me was all Tottenham really. I think the goal was, to be honest, against the run of play in terms of the penalty. It was very unlucky for Romero. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, he needed to put his hands behind from his sides because that's the rules nowadays. You either behind your back or on your sides like this. Because if you don't do that, they're gonna give a penalty 9 times out of 10 because these referees are soft. But in terms of the game overall, I think they are two quality teams. Tottenham really surprised me in terms of the way they played. They played their style of football. They weren't scared of the Emirates, and I like the fact that Ange is a proper man manager, a proper man. Um, a lot of clips you see him, he's a genuine guy, and I feel like that's what Tottenham needs. It feels like Poch Tottenham again. They're not. They're not under these winning managers that are too serious. They're playing good football. They're expressing themselves, and they got a lot of talented young players as well. Udogi van der Ven, Basuma is the Basuma that we saw in Brighton. He's back. The Pape Mensah guy, solid. Their midfield was a lot stronger and tougher than Arsenal's. And the biggest difference was when Declan Rice got injured at half time for Jorginho to come on, because that led to that second goal. But at the same time, it shows that the summer window wasn't good enough. Because are you a Rice injury away from having Jorginho and Kai Havertz in your midfield? That's our midfield when we were bummy last season. We finished 12th. That's what we sold them to you, fam. And now you got those two players, and I feel like Kai Havertz for 65 isn't justifying his transfer window. He's weak in midfield. He's not offering anything. And I feel like there was mistakes made in the transfer window. As soon as Timber got injured, that you should have brought in a defender to replace him. You didn't. Midfield options are lacking. And also, why don't you start Jesus down the middle and play either Smith Rowe or Reece Nelson down the wing? Why do you have these two guys if you don't trust them? You had plenty of opportunities in the summer to get wingers in, but you didn't. Trossard out. I get that. Martinelli's out. But you need to be trusting these fringe players. And if you don't trust them, sell them on. Smith Rowe was quoted at 30, 40 M's. That 30, 40 M's could have been put towards a player to improve your squad. You could have
Yeah,
got
like
a winger
Eze.
you could have got a winger that you trusted. You could have got Harvey Barnes for that kind of money, and he's looking good. So the reality is that Arteta is doing it to himself in terms of he didn't bring the right players in the summer. Um, the the Havertz signing, it perplexes me to this day. I don't know why. And Arsenal just don't have the same swagger they did last season. They look like a shell of themselves, and I don't know if it's because he's trying to play a different style with these inverted fullbacks. He's trying to be Man City, but you ain't got you ain't got their cash. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to be doing like you're trying to do prime MNS football on prime up prices. Like that's that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to do a level of football that your players aren't good enough to do. You need to go back to the drawing board and do it like you did last season. Full to the metal, bomber style football that you were doing last season, and actually play a proper midfield. I know you got a lot of injuries and that happens, but we have a lot of injuries. It is the way it is. You can't, if you don't trust your squad, then why do you have the squad for? These are the kind of things that are going to happen across the season. And that's why when I look at Arsenal, I say, are you going to win me something this season? Because all this 3-4 year process, I ain't seen nothing. And I look at the team from this season to last season, and it looks like it's regressed. This the way Arsenal fans were coming into this game like they were gonna slap them 5-6-0. Coming like they were big Don Dada Man City, like they were gonna light work Tottenham. And they got done up in their own ends. The thing is, the only thing I got to say about Tottenham is Ange, you bottled it towards the end because you should have kept your Don Dallas on and won that game. Because that would have hurt more. If you won at Emirates, I think you would have been a hero over there. They would have gave you a statue. You would have got a statue
True.
outside the stadium if you did that. But yeah, man, it was a great game. Tottenham showed up. Arsenal really didn't. And Arteta just, you need to stop overthinking things because I feel like you're showing you're trying to be Pep when you're not Pep. Just be Arteta. Be the cone man you know you are. Be the Mr. Second guy that you know you are, fam. Because the reality is you're not Pep. You don't have the players that Pep has. You don't have the budget that Pep has. And reality is the way you're playing is leading you to drop points. And you're already 4 points behind City. You lose to them on the weekend or the next game you play them, that's 7 points. That's game over. That's season done. You might as well just focus on the cups now and win those things because you give City any kind of lead, they're gone. and it's scary because 6 wins in a row and they're doing it without De Bruyne. Boy, it's a long season. But yeah, Arsenal fans, we got questions for Arteta at the end of the season if I don't see no trophies, not even a Carabao Cup. Yeah, a Community Shield isn't a trophy. Yeah, I don't know why you had that on your team photo. You had the community. That is this what Arsenal trophies are? Your dog and your Community Shield. Is that what you call trophies? Is that what you want to have in your team photo?
Oh man.
Yeah. But on the honesty, yeah, man, I was surprised by Tottenham in a good way, and I feel like Tottenham have the ability to finish top four this season, which I never expected. Before the season, I wasn't even going to put them top four, top five, top six, but they're proving me wrong. They're proving the people wrong, and Andrew's doing good stuff with that team. We'll see if he can carry it on for the season because it's going to be a long season. It's only the start, so it's a good start. But the last couple managers had good starts, manager of the months. But next thing you know, they're gone before a Carabao Cup final. Talking about this club ain't got the minerals to win them thing there. So we gotta see what Tottenham is really on and what Ange's about because they're already out the Carabao Cup and I think for Tottenham they need to win something and I think they should focus on the FA Cup. If they get top four, that's a good bonus, but I think they need to get that FA Cup. They need to just have that feeling of win. And I feel like that's them, Newcastle, Brighton, those kind of teams there. It's okay to play the good football. It's okay to get your top four finishes, but we're the only currency I care about is trophies. I need armpits at the end of the season. So Tottenham, good start. Arsenal, you're looking shaky. Both on the same points though, so you know, got the points in at least. But yeah, overall good game, man. Good game, and it's upsetting because my team's playing like ass. Yeah, ass and cheeks. Can't even finish, and I'm seeing man like Son Perry on Son Hugh Messi. All that stuff, putting out great finishes. I'm seeing other teams scoring eight. I'm seeing other teams winning like ease, and we're struggling against Aston Villa at home, man. You know what? I might as well put this mask back on. It's long out here.
Oh man. All right, let's finish on this last bit. Obviously Man City won their game. We don't even need to talk about that game, but it's just the incident overall, just a moment of madness from Rodri. Out of character, really, because throughout his tenure at Man City, we don't really notice or never have ever seen him do something like that. So I would like to know what was actually said or what irritated him for him to lash out the way that he did. It's uncharacteristic of him. Um, he could have just squared up because obviously Edison squared up to um I can't remember who it was, but Edison squared up to someone and all they did was just put their head together and was just cussing each other. Rodri could have just done that, but my man fully just put man's hand on man's throat, doing up GBH and that on the field, bro. It was a bit mad.
Yeah, it
I don't
was.
know,
It
I
was.
don't, I don't know what he was doing. And the thing is, like, that's a difference maker because playing against Nottingham Forest, okay, cool. Rodri is not really going to make that much of an impact in midfield. But you got Arsenal. Alright, cool. Arsenal don't really have a great midfield, but it is still Arsenal. It is still a big team. And anybody can beat anybody on their day. And you're missing an integral person in your midfield. De Bruyne's not there. Okay, cool, that's fine. You got creativity across the pitch anyway, so it don't really matter. But you're missing your best CDM and probably the best CDM in the world right now in Rodri, who is a key cog to the way how you play and how you set up. And you're playing against your potential title rivals in Arsenal. So it's going to be interesting to see how Man City sets up without him. Are they going to play a different system or different formation to facilitate the midfielders that they've got? Like, are they going to play like a 4-4-2 or maybe even a diamond system? Like, I don't know, but what was your thoughts on it? Because I was confused. Like it's not like it wasn't against Liverpool or like against Chelsea or some a big team like United, like a big hostile environment, rivalries on top, passions there. These men are doing it against Nottingham Forest. Like I don't get it. Like what was your thoughts?
It was bizarre, to be honest. The only thing Nottingham Forest have over Man City is they got two Champions League to one. That's about it. So, but I'm gonna lie, I feel like for me with the Rodri situation, it might be a thing of something outside of football for him to react like that. Because
Mm,
if you got outside stresses and you're coming onto the pitch and you're just playing the game and someone just switches at you, you're just taking it out on that guy in that situation.
mm,
So maybe he
yeah.
had something outside. That's the theory that I got. The other thing is though that Man City are playing single player mode, and obviously, winning the league the last 3 years have been easy, so they want to add difficulty modifiers. So there's so,
You're a fool.
so like Rodri out for 3 games, modifier. De Bruyne out for the season, modifier. You know what I mean? They want to make it a challenge.
No, I hear that still.
But,
I hear that.
no, it was just a moment of madness, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes the coolest of players does that. Obviously, there's guys that do that on everyday basis, like El Hadj Diouf and them man there. That's a regular that's a regular Tuesday. But yeah, no, it was wild, and you could see Pep was angry at that. Like you're meant to be a leader. You're meant to be a guy that's actually meant to be cool, calm, and collected. Because it was before that, it was formulaic, 2-0, easy game. And then after that, man, everything was kicking off. It was like the game went to like World War Three all of a sudden, 0 to 100 real quick. And you made a game that should have been easy, 4-5-0, into a slugfest. 10 men battling, and to be honest, what he should have done after that game is apologize to his teammates. Because if he didn't, they should have rushed, man. Because they made an easy day at the office hard. But yeah,
Yeah.
nah, he's missing the next 3 games. He's missing the Arsenal game. But the thing is, I feel like City will still be fine. I think they'll probably put Calvin Phillips there instead. I think he's more than comfortable to play that position. I think because with City, it's the system. The players add to the system, but their system is at a level where you can add a lesser player and still be okay for certain games. Obviously, it's going
Mm,
to make it more difficult, but Arsenal don't look good. So unless Arsenal improve over the next couple games in terms of their style of play, which I don't think is going to happen, and they've got injuries of their own. I don't know how long Declan Rice is out. Obviously, Trossard gone, Martinelli out for a bit, so they've got injuries of their own right. So it's not going to be perfect 11v11. So it's a part of the game, but it's a silly moment. And Rodri deep inside knows better. The only other theory I have is maybe he booked a holiday and he wanted some time. Missus
You're a
complaining, no,
fool.
but I want to go here for a couple. Okay, I'll get the red card. Them ones there where you want to get out the job. Yeah, oh, I'm
You're a
sick,
fool.
man. With a couple weeks off. No, but yeah, it's wild. But yeah, I do want to shout out to Newcastle quickly as well. 8-0. Obviously, Sheffield United before the game had a women's footballer who passed away. So, condolences to her. And but you know what? Newcastle, they're bad guys, because her favorite number was the number 8. And what they did? They scored 8. Now, Newcastle, you're bad guys, You're bad guys. Man said with the number 8. But no, that was a demolition. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't expect. The thing is, you know what? I bet they Newcastle heard all the disrespect about why they got the 4:30 kickoff. They were like, what? Why we got the kickoff? We'll show you. Goal after goal after goal. I was annoyed, because Isaac was on the bench and I did on my fantasy, and I was like, nah, come on, come on, come on, get. And he came on, he scored the 8th. I was like, yeah, that's right, points. But yeah, man, that game was wild.
I was
That game.
fuming, bruv, because I had flipping Anthony Gordon and Isaac in my FPL, and then I took them out. So I'm fuming. because if I did, I would have made bank
Yeah,
with the
Trippier was getting
points.
points then.
Yeah,
Triple triple
I
assist.
got Trippier though, so I'm happy with that. But
Okay,
like,
so you
still, I could have got triple fam with Gordon
mm,
and Isak. But it is what it is, isn't it? We move. But yeah, man, we come to the end of our pod. Obviously, we're gonna talk about football again on Tuesday, same time. But we're gonna do a second episode on a Thursday. Might be a bit earlier, might not, depends on availability, etc. But yeah, we're gonna talk just like we did on Manchester United. We're gonna deconstruct Tottenham from top to bottom and explain why they are the way that they are, where they're going, their potential in the next 1 to 5 years under Ange, if he is going to still be there. The decision to let Harry Kane go, whether they should have done it earlier, whether it was the right decision to do, the players that they've signed this season, maybe, or their transfer window, or their lack of signings because of their stingy owners. And just, yeah, should Tottenham finally be the powerhouse that they've been talking about for I don't know how long, since when Poch was their manager. So yeah, we'll discuss Tottenham on Thursday. Should be good. Yeah, obviously, yeah, Liverpool won, onwards and upwards. Don't need to say much. But yeah, Luke's out on this one.
yeah, another week, another challenge. Good episode. Obviously, we got Brighton and Fulham next. Brighton in the Carabao Cup, and then Fulham away. And yeah, if we don't win, we need to win both of those games. And as far as I'm concerned, until then, Mask is coming back on. Wait, because I deserve better.
This
Man have to
guy's a
put the
fool.
mask on. I'm a Chelsea fan out here, fam. I get shots left, right, and center. I'm gonna be out here, outside. Anyway, man. Love,
You're a
peace, and
fool.
guidance. This is foosball. Poch, you did this to me. We out.
You're a fool. We out. Peace.